All righty, let's
All
see.
right. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's so good to see everyone this evening as we are getting ready to have our masterclass number 14, Introduction to GODSU Chaplaincy Programs. I am so elated to be a part of this great group. I have just been excited all day to hear what these wonderful people have to say. I am seeing that we have on our panel Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith and also Dr. Chuck Barlow Jr. and also Chaplain Iman Murad Muhammad. At this time, I just wanted to say that I am so glad to be on the team here at GODSU. And tonight is going to be exciting. And what I'd like to do, even though I have the various resumes or either bios in front of me, I want to start off with Assistant Dean Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith, who has been very, very successful with the university. She's successful in her own rights. Dr. Smith in 1994 founded the Strong Sisters of Strength Ministries Incorporated, SSOS. For over 28 years, the SOS ministry continues to be a place where women strengthen women through fellowship, prayer, worship, and outreach. Since 1986, Dr. Smith has been an active member of the Mount Olive Baptist Church in Arlington, Texas, under the esteemed leadership of Pastor James P. Thompson Jr. Dr. Smith has graduated from Mount Olive Bible Institute, MOBI, completing her general and advanced studies there. Beginning her career at the Internal Revenue Service 36 years ago, Dr. Cecilia is a native of Dallas. She graduated in the top 10% of our class at the Skyline Career Development Center as a licensed cosmetologist in 1983. She graduated from Eastfield College with an associate degree and the University of Texas in Arlington with a bachelor's degree in business, finance, and English. But in 2010, she began her own financial service business. Dr. Cecilia was licensed as a chaplain in 2019 and awarded an honorary PhD at GODSU University, Global Overday University and Seminary. In 2021, Dr. Cecilia released her first book, Marriage in Review. It all starts with you. Dr. Smith can be reached at Cecilia Smith 83 at yahoo.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter or LinkedIn. Dr. Smith, we're so glad to have you here tonight. You look wonderful, absolutely stunning and beautiful, and we're just glad to have you. I'm going to ask a quick question of you as I continue to go in and do an intro. Dr. Smith, tell us, how did you become affiliated with GODSU University?
Good evening, and thank you for that introductions. I'm going to go ahead and take you on the route so you can introduce me wherever I go, Vice Chancellor Eva. How I became a part of Global Overday University was Pastor Sandra Randall nominated me for this program. And when she nominated me for the program, I completed the studies for chaplaincy and also the requirements for my honorary PhD. So I am a 2019 graduate of this esteemed university.
Awesome. I'm going to ask you another quick question. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do with GODSU?
Yes, I can. When I graduated from the university, we always called on to give back to the university, and I was invited to serve on the God Success Teach and Pray program that airs on Facebook and also on YouTube daily. And what we do on the God Success Teach and Pray is we share a little bit of Bible study, and we also pray for individuals. So we do that 7 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You will find us on there doing maybe just a 3 or 4 minute clip, but it goes all over the world. And that's what we record for each week. So that's how I give back to the university. I share on that platform weekly.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Our next panelist, and I'm going to ask you as we go through, I'll try to introduce and then hear a little bit from you, is Dr. Charlie Chuck Barlow Jr. He is a chaplain, just graduating here in December, and he's the executive director of SOSSI, Saving Our Sons and Sisters International, since 2009. He is a graduate of Benjamin E. Mays High School. That's 1997. He holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration, Finance, and Marketing from Morris Brown College. In 2002, he received a Master's of Science degree in Neuroscience, Learning and Teaching Brain Smart from Nova Southeastern University in 2010. In 2018, Chuck earned his chaplaincy license from GODSU and recruited his mother to join him in this program. Chuck was invited to participate in the inaugural City of South Fulton Office of Chaplaincy Chaplain Training Education Program, CTEP, November 2019. The focus on the 5 branches of chaplaincy: police, fire, governmental, community, and justice, jail, and 9/11. Barlow completed his training certification and was sworn into December 2020, serving as the youngest chaplain on the team. During the pandemic in 2021, he understood the importance of upskilling and enrolled in an inaugural accelerated Atlanta University program and earned a Microsoft 365 fundamental certification and became a Microsoft nonprofit partner and joined the Microsoft nonprofit Tech Acceleration for Blacks and African American Community Program. We're so proud to have you on this panel tonight, Dr. Chuck. Would you please tell us briefly what brought you to GODSU University?
Well, good evening, everyone. And I just want to thank the Chancellor and all of her team and you for being here tonight, Dr. Eva, to be on to host our panel. What brought me to GODSU is I attended the John Hope Bryant Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and I had a chance to meet His Excellency Dakar and his sister at the table. They were manning the table. And it reminded me of my father doing similar things. I remember my father always finding a way to bring me to a conference. So my father is a former executive of Xerox. He's also a ordained minister. So I grew up as a PKTK, for those who know what that is, a preacher's kid and a teacher's kid. My mother was a Christian school teacher, and she was my 3rd grade teacher. And that was very interesting. Me and God had several conversations about that, but maybe he knew better than I did. But what brought me to GODSU was I saw the young people being engaged and involved. And me growing up with a son of a pastor and son of a teacher, and she's being one of my teachers, it showed me a lot. So to whom much is given, much is required. And so what my goal was to do is to, find out more about the chaplaincy. And I think oftentimes us as young people, or when we are young people or younger, right, we're not necessarily given the platform to show our gifts and talents. I was fortunate enough to be an international ambassador at 15 to travel to Europe, to coast Switzerland, to Oslo, Norway, to actually nominate an organization for the Nobel Peace Prize. So I've been doing this work all my life, since I was 15. So what brought me to GODSU was an opportunity for me to continue to do the work, not just in my community, but be examples for other people in their early 40s and 50s to actually show up, not just look at and expect other people to do this work, but there's a piece of the puzzle that all of us hold if we're going to be able to complete this picture.
Thank you, Dr. Barlow, Dr. Charlie Chuck Barlow. Next, one of our other very esteemed panelists is none other than Iman Murad Muhammad. His entrepreneurial spirit began at the age of 15 years old, opening a steak and take restaurant that grew into 3 mobile steak and take trucks. Due to his martial arts expertise, he was selected to be the bodyguard for the renowned world heavyweight boxing champion, Muhammad Ali, for 12 years. This introduction to the sport of boxing grew his interest, which enabled him to introduce and promote the sport of boxing behind the prison walls of New Jersey State Prison and Broadway, New Jersey, with exclusivity to utilize the sport in the rehabilitation of inmates in all New Jersey prisons. Promoting the sport of boxing also enabled him to utilize his entrepreneurial skills by creating a 49.95 cents for pay-per-view and the launching of Jordan brand. He's promoted 50 world champions. A few of his world-renowned champions are Larry Holmes, Roy Jones Jr., and Manny Pacquiao. And we just want to say we're so glad to have Iman Muhammad with us. Could you please tell us, Iman Muhammad, what brought you to GODSU?
You. Let me tell you something. I met the husband first, and he was amazed and began to question me about why this happens, why that happened, and he was very fond of me at the time. Then he gave me another doctor, and she did a wonderful job. And then I end up with this special one, you. And when you spoke to me and I gave you my ideas of what I'm looking for, when you finished, you said, you don't have to see no more doctors. I'm taking you right to the chancellor. I said, whoa. Well, I went to the chancellor and I did maybe about 20 ways of getting out of this. She's good. She's really good. And then I said, well, I can help you tremendously, but I don't want to go back to school. I do not want to. She says, Murad, you have a gift, but you do it outside, it stands for nothing. But if you come a part of this, I can say, we. It's not just you no more. We can do this collectively. I said, okay, you got me. So she said, well, you got to pick one of these religions. And I chose to do the religion of Al-Islam. And when I took on doing that, what I believe that she taught by the Imam Warasdi Muhammad, there's no separation with us. We decide to separate us. We're one. And your religion is your religion. The way you practice the religion, that's God. You owe it to God. Now, we're the only human beings on the face of the planet Earth has a right to say no to God. That's powerful. And all he wanted is those who are faithful, those who believe that God is one. Now, you can call him whatever name you would like to call him, but your heart says Allah. Now, why is it Allah? It's only difference when God is the God. Oh, there must be some more gods around here. You are God. The chancellor is God. You're his spirit. we the only creature came from the Spirit of God. Everyone else, the jinn came from light, came from the angels came from light. The jinn is called the jinn, but they don't have our ability. So when the angel said, this is God's will, and the jinn says, I'm not going to submit to clay and mud and dirt. And what happened is when God says, wait till I breathe into them my spirit. And that's when that body came alive. So that's who we are. We're the Spirit of God. So that's
Amen.
why a lot of gods are going around here today. And some of us are confused. And some of us have gifts. You are blessed. You are blessed. It's like Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary wasn't a virgin physically. She was a virgin because all she took for eating the foods, the words of God to raise Jesus.
Yes.
No one else could raise Jesus but her.
And we appreciate you sharing that piece with us. Rod, we just thank you for being on the team with us here at GODSU. And you are just an amazing leader and man of God. And we just thank you for that. At this time, I'd like to kind of come back over to Assistant Dean Cecilia. Cecilia, tell me something, Dr. Cecilia. What difference has GODSU made in your life to this point by being an alum of GODSU?
I will say this, GODSU was an answer to prayer. At the time I was nominated for this program, I had prayed and asked the Lord to allow me to go beyond my community, being an ambassador for him. And what I mean by go beyond my community, I mean go outside my walls, outside my church, outside of Dallas, outside the United States. I was very open. And so when I was nominated for this program and realized it was a global program, it has given me opportunity to have impact, not just in Dallas, not just in the United States. It's given me a global impact because God's Success Teach and Pray is a global opportunity. So that's how it's changed me, because I can absolutely go outside my walls anytime that I record a recording for God's Success Teach and Pray, which is what I wanted, because if we're true ambassadors for Christ, then we have to go outside our little communities. We have to be global, which is what God's Success Teach and Pray does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Dr. Charlie, since you're an alum and you're getting ready to get that honorary doctorate, tell me what differences or what the difference that you see in your life by you being a part and connected to GODSU.
Well, for several reasons. The fact that GODSU has their family involved and engaged in mostly every aspect is awesome. My family and I, we do a lot of work together. We started a summer camp in 2009 when we saw that there weren't enough space at the traditional summer camps. We just came together, got some teachers. We were all teachers of the years, and we said, well, why don't we just create something? It lasted 9 years uninterrupted. We had partnerships with the local colleges and universities. Some of our students are still doing awesome jobs right now. We've had a couple of salutatorians and valedictorians that we've supported in the program. So I think it's really all about the fact that GODSU is about family. It's about that oneness, that one love, one earth, and that, just bringing all those different aspects together is very important to me. As you can see, I had my mother join GODSU and not only get her chaplaincy, but she got her doctorate and had a chance to travel with some of the GODSU team to other places and represent them in a nice way. And she's, just so happens that my entire family, we're Morris Brown College graduates. we follow in our parents' footsteps, and they've been very influential with other families, Morris Brown alumni, legacy families that actually help Morris Brown College get to back where it is. So GODSU was around that time. And just like Dr. Cecilia said, I wanted to find another way of being able to serve in a lot of different capacities. There's so many limitations. Most people want to limit your abilities opposed to giving you that white canvas that God has given you to create and do something different. If we continue to do the same things and we're not getting the results, they call that insanity. And so I was just looking at a way to serve. I've been internationally, and I also realized that we need to kind of not just think about we've traveled globally about just helping them globally, but look at what things are working globally so that we can, look globally so we can act locally at what works.
Thank you. Murad Muhammad, please tell me, what has GODSU done for you since you've been involved?
GODSU sounds like God is you, God is you, God is you, God is you. Every one of us have the Spirit of God in us. And He allows us to be free to say what we would like to say. But He only judges our heart.
Right.
And I realized that here is a female that looks like me. Now, that's nationality. But we don't look at her looks, how beautiful she looks. We look at her heart. She had a gift, just like Muhammad Ali had a gift and said he was the greatest of all times. But he didn't mean he. He had to say he, because you is he. She is us. And she thought about bringing the religious people together. But our religions only guide us. God allows us to give back so we can make it to paradise. That's my opinion.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, panelists, this is the question. Cecilia, you're going to be under the gun real quick. Okay, so Murad Muhammad and Dr. Charlie, you're going to have a few seconds. Here's what we're about to do. Really quickly, all right? In 1 minute or less, you are going to do a public service announcement on why should someone join or become a student at GODSU University. Why should someone become a student at GODSU University? 1 minute or less. Time is ticking, and we're ready for you, Dr. Cecilia.
The first reason I would say is for us to realize that there is literally a war going on, period. And here's what I know. In order for us to impact this world and win this world, we have got to have the love of Christ within us. One requirement at GODSU is that you have to become a chaplain. Think about the impact of this world if you would do that, not just to help yourself, but to study in order to help others. That's the first reason, to study to become a chaplain so that you have the right tools to fight this war that's going on, literally and spiritually. Number two, second reason, just as I said before, it's convenient for you to have impact in your local community. It's more challenging to have impact globally. That's what GODSU does. It impacts the world and not just your community. There's your two reasons: study to become a chaplain and then impact the world. Thank you.
Wow. Impact the world. I love it. Dr. Chuck?
And when I entered GODSU in 2018, I was just Chuck Barlow Jr. Since I've joined GODSU, my titles have changed, My opportunities have become grander. The relationships that I've built have continued to grow. And I've been able to represent myself opposed to always having to associate myself with other organizations that may not necessarily align with the vision that God has given me. But with GODSU, I've found that I have not only friends in the past, but I'm making new friends and being able to reconnect with old ones as well. Several of my friends were already doctors, had already received their honorary doctorate from GODSU, who I already knew in my life. And so it wasn't hard for me to choose a path to go. And at GODSU was a little bit more personable than most other organizations. And very similar to the cadet program that I was able to be a part of in the city of South Fulton, where we were able to serve under the police, the Justice Department, the fire department, the government, as well as the community. GODSU is very similar because it focuses on your family, it focuses on your friends, it focuses on your community. It also focuses on our schools and education, and also entrepreneurship, because we have to understand the ability of ownership and the financial and digital literacy. GODSU offers this. And so we welcome you to not only come and find out what you can, but also share this with others. Thank you.
Thank you. Murad Muhammad, a 1-minute PSA, because you're trying to get someone to say this is a university to be at. Ready?
This is a university that one should come to, because we can't come through that tunnel unless we come through the female. And the female is always rejected. I can go on and on how many females are in the world that has given gift to the world. And that's the gift that comes from God himself. It's a female that brought many people together in all walks of life, because everybody is the same. We're the same spirit, we're the same soul, we're the same intellectual mind. And that's what GODSU is doing. And from a female. Why? Because she is the one that goes through the pains and the aches to deliver that child. And she can lose that child and bringing the baby in. But once it comes in, there's no more pain. It's something beautiful and something can be offered to the world. That's my humble opinion.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Now, you guys have done a PSA. I just want you to get a little bit more theatrical for a second. Okay? Now, you are on, as our chancellor like to say, ABC, NBC, CBS. Ready? Now, tell me something about GODSU that I'm kind of like a humdrum person. I'm kind of straddling the fence. I don't know if I want to do this or not. Can you give me a quick clip it? Less than a minute, because we don't have much longer. I'm going to start with you, Cecilia. Give me the theatrics of the century on how you're going to tell me I need to be at this university as an alum, from the alum perspective.
I would say if you're still wondering what you're supposed to be doing in this season, then I would tell you to join us at this university so that we may encourage and help you go forward and be the best you ever.
Thank you. Dr. Chuck?
I would just say, simply put, I was able to be invited to Marquis Who's Who because of GODSU. It's because of the relationships that I've been able to build, and the fact that GODSU allows you to bring your talents and your organization to the table to allow you to grow and learn and share with others. And that's my goal, is to partner with other nonprofits that are in other countries, other cities that are affiliated with GODSU, and help to prototype ideas that can help to solve intergenerational problems that our young people could help us with, right? How do we create those platforms to assist others? Thank you.
Thank you. Murad Muhammad.
You know, both of them said something very beautiful. The key factor is collectively we're strong. We can smack you into your senses, but we can close one fist and be one unit. And every time we speak, more the people that come, the more prayers as given to God. And when you talk to your Lord will give you back. And when you can do something you don't have to do, but it ain't just for us. It's for us all in all walks of life, come together collectively and we'll praise God at one time. God.
Thank you. Chuck, Dr. Chuck, we're going to pick on you for a second. We're going to give Cecilia a breather over there so she'll have time to think a little more.
Okay.
Here's the question. Give me 5 words, not sentences, that speaks of God's you from your heart. 5 words,
5
not
words.
sentences, that you would like to describe God's you.
1 word would be intergenerational. 2, resilient. 3, agape. 4, openness. And 5, accessible.
And could you repeat number 5 again for me, please?
Accessible. And what I mean by accessible is because of the pandemic, GODSU opened up its doors to online to reach more people and invite more people to participate, knowing that many of them could not travel.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dr. Cecilia?
The first word that comes to me is unity, because we are on one accord. The next one that comes to me is prepared, because we have to stay prepared as chaplains. There's always opportunity to speak and show God's love. The next one is polished. Chancellor, do not allow us to go anywhere unprepared. We have got to be polished. The next one is teachers. We are teachers of the gospel. We're teachers of religion. We are teachers. And the last one I would say is excellence. We operate in excellence. We don't go out just any kind of way. It is a spirit of excellence. Those are my 5.
Thank you. Murad Muhammad, your 5 words, please.
The 5 senses. Man gives you knowledge, but the Lord gives you 5 senses. If you don't use those 5 senses that was given in the womb of your mother, you're confused. You are being taught something other than that. We cry. Those are his language because we don't know no other language. We smell. We taste. We're able to do those 5 senses, and those are the basis of what the world is all about. So your 5 senses comes first because it's given a gift when you come through that tunnel. That's my humble opinion.
Thank you. As we get ready to wrap up, I like what I was hearing about those words that you guys were talking about, you know, knowledge, polished, accessibility. What other question I'm going to ask you as we wrap? Tell me one of the greatest experiences you've had as a chaplain. You wouldn't have had any other endeavors in your life, but becoming a chaplain. What is your greatest experience? Just one isolated one. I know you probably got a million. Just give me one. One that was so impactful to you.
Well, I think I've had several experiences with us being able to serve not only the police department, the fire department, the government, the community. But one of the things that I can say is that being a chaplain, of course, we are there to make sure that we humanize these experiences and be willing to comfort people where they are, and being available and accessible. One of the things that I found in doing the work is anytime you're on the scene, you always try to reach out to the family to find out who is their faith leader so that you can contact them to get them on the scene. And I just so happened to have an experience where there was a house fire and many of the family members passed away. And those who were there, some of them were actually in the house. So just to be able to be there to comfort people, to be able to make connections with the pastor and to reach out to him and to check on him and understand protocol, I think it's very important because people have different faiths and they have faith leaders that they already have built a relationship and rapport with. And I think as a chaplain, no matter where we are in the world doing this type of work, we should always look for a local faith leader to be able to follow up with that family and making sure that they're receiving the services that they need as they recover and restore themselves and being able to move past and beyond that experience.
One of the things that I like what you were saying. One of the things that I have recognized in the chaplaincy program, doesn't matter what your doctrinal teachings are, what you've been practicing for a lot of years. When someone has a need, you don't go up and ask them if they're Baptist, Catholic, Muslim, Church of God in Christ. You just see a human being. And how can we be of service? I think one of the most noted things is service, that we as chaplains, we're not trying to go and be in anyone's pulpit. We're not trying to go and say, hey, come follow me because this is what I've been taught. But I see you in need, whether you're homeless, whether you're hurt, whether you're broken, whether you're sick. We just want to love on you as a human being. Dr. Cecilia, take it from there.
I just thought of an experience that literally just happened on Saturday. I was on my way out of an event and a young lady came up to me and she said, I wasn't going to say anything to you, but I felt led to. She began to share her personal feelings with me about how she was feeling, and it was pretty low. So I began to just share with her how much she is loved, no matter how she behaves. So for me, my best experiences is experiences just like that. The fact that she felt that she could come to me and talk to me, let me know I have to be behaving appropriately. Otherwise, she would have kept walking to someone else. So just like you indicated, being accessible.
Fantastic. Rod, we have less than 1 minute and I need to turn it back over to our Chancellor and HE, His Excellency the Carr. Can you please give me your final comment here as we come to a close?
This is matter. I study matter, taught by Imam Wallace D. Muhammad. And when you go to your mother, you feel comfortable that your mother will help you. Your mother will not hurt you. It's a gift. And this is why I was so excited to become a part of a mother. A mother, the chancellor, became a mother to many people in all different religions. Come together as human beings and let's do the will of God. That's what I like about this organization that called a university to everybody.
Yes. Wow, thank you. You guys have been one of the most amazing panelists I thank you so much for sharing your insight. It's not the commercials, it's you. You, the alums of GODSU, that will make the great difference and the legacy and the life of this university for years and years to come. Thank you so much. I love you, but God loves you best. We will turn this over to Chancellor.
We love you too.
Oh my goodness, give them a hand. What? That was amazing. And I just fell in love with Dr. Cecilia all over again. I mean, oh my, y'all almost had me in tears. And then Dr. Barlow, who both her Sudan and His Excellency Dakar actually recruited him like 6 years ago, just doing what they do for GODSU. And he was like, who are these young people running around like this? And there it was, Dr. Cecilia. And of course, we love our sweet Imam, Dr. Murad. I mean, I don't know anybody who could meet him and not love him. He is just a wonderful, kind, sweet, fierce negotiator. That's what I tell him. I say all of that, and then I say that at the end. And I truly appreciate him. And his respect for women is really what touches my heart. You know, when you see such a powerful man, and he never, ever forgets the female, as he calls them. So I love it. Thank you so much, guys. And of course, we couldn't do anything without our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. Eva, who is just so fierce. She's the fierce Pierce in the place, okay? Really handled her business and made this so interesting and innovative.